1. Hey everyone, it's Erin with Hail Varsity. I'm joined by Brady, also of Hail Varsity, because who else would you be or where would you be from? But thank you for joining us for another post-practice recap here on our YouTube channel. Today was Defense Day. Thursday, Defense Day. We heard from Terrance Knighton, aka Pot Roast. We heard from Evan Cooper. We heard from MJ Sherman, Malcolm Hartzog, and
Omar Brown.
I couldn't see who that other person was over at the station I was not at. So a lot to dive into, Brady. Let's just start with what were your biggest takeaways today?
Well, Terrance Knighton was the one that kind of spoke at the station I was at. It was kind of really interesting to hear him. Fluidity really becomes like a repetitive thing as you kind of hear them. They've got a lot of new enrollees, new faces, new people kind of moving from the interior to the edge rusher spot on the defensive line. A lot of those edge rushers are kind of splitting time between Terrance Knighton and Rob Dvorak, linebackers coach, because they're kind of like fluid. Even Prince Will Umamielen, who's a really like highly regarded edge rusher, they really like him a lot. He lined up at middle linebacker today and made a play. Like they're really like moving these guys around, seeing who can, stand up and rush the passer while also, getting their hand in the dirt and going at them. You get a sense that they're not locking anybody into positions right now. They're just kind of keep going, fluidity, seeing who can make plays where and seeing who fits best. And then he's getting a lot of hands-on experience with like Raquan Buckley, Nash Hutmacher, and
You almost did the Hutmacher.
I almost did. Well, not the coffee in the throat is really getting me. But he talked about how they are kind of thin on those interior defensive linemen, but that's also helping them because they're getting the reps right now, and they kind of need those. He hasn't said that they're like the injured guys right now. He hasn't solely just like said they're not going to participate for the rest of spring. He said, I just am not privy to that information. They might be able to come, but right now, as it stands, they're not involved because of injury, so they're giving the reps to the guys who can. So next man up mentality is what they're going with right now, and the reps are valuable at this point in spring.
And that's exactly what we heard from Matt Rule on Tuesday. He does not want anybody evaluating players as far as a potential depth chart. He talked a lot about that on Tuesday. We talked about it in our video as well, that they have a lot. The spring, I think I keep going back to this one thing that Matt Rule said on Tuesday, is that spring is for like the implementing, fall is more for the perfecting, and then season is for the execution of that. So they're really installing and implementing those things now. They'll perfect in fall camp, and then they'll hopefully execute upon everything. But as a result of that, while you're implementing and you're installing and you're kind of testing things out, that gives players an opportunity to say, like, maybe I want to shift over here, maybe I want to give this a try, maybe I want to go over and do this. And so the evaluation is more about just the overall player versus like evaluating them in one particular spot. And that is really like, Evan Cooper was talking about, he's really enjoyed getting to work with his guys. He said that he doesn't talk smack to anybody that's not in his group, but he does like to talk some smack to his group. And we heard him jaw at Quentin Newsom quite a bit on Tuesday, which was fun. And Quentin was jawing back at him. So it was all in good fun.
It's all dogs.
It's all dogs. But he was even saying the same thing, that like right now it's just all about like getting them comfortable, learning the details, focusing in on every little aspect. And I even asked about the details, because that is, it's even just like the simple things of like, if your hand positioning is not right, let's run it again, let's try it again, let's do this. And so it's kind of, I don't know if anyone else out there is trying to learn a new language on Duolingo, but like you learn the same words over and over and over again, because it's like if you keep learning those words, you're going to become more and more familiar with what you're supposed to do. So it is like detail-oriented over and over and over, because that is what spring is truly for. So that was really my big takeaway from Evan Cooper, was, again, attention to detail, getting 1% better. We've heard that a little bit. So knowing the players, what did you hear from the players today?
Omar Brown he's very interesting, because he didn't like say that last year was tough, although he said, I just control what I can control. He didn't really see the field as much as he wanted to last year, but he said, kept it under my purview, did what I could, grounded out. And now coaches really like him. He's having a really good spring so far. He's working at safety. He described the rover position as a little bit more of a free safety who can get in the box, move around a little bit more. That kind of works to the fluidity that they're trying to work with. And he described a play Matt Rule talked about on Tuesday where he had a busted coverage and still intercepted the ball. And he smiled and he's like, yeah, I knew right away when I was in it that I busted my coverage. I didn't know what to do, but the quarterback scrambled. and he made a football play because he's a football player. And I think that kind of speaks a little bit to the fluidity, no rigidness to position or location. They have certain assignments, and if things break down, they're football players, and they want him to make a play. So I think he's still getting used to what he wants to do in the details, but coaches are really high on Omar, and it really seems like he's got a spot in the defense.
And Malcolm Hartzog, I listened to him. Now, you weren't with MJ Sherman at all, were you?
No.
So you're going to have to go check out the video from MJ Sherman here on our YouTube channel, because I heard he was fantastic. Everybody walked away was like, great, like he had great things to say.
Lord.
Yeah. So go watch that video so you can hear for yourself what MJ Sherman had to say. Malcolm, though, he was just talking a lot about, heading into a sophomore season, things aren't new anymore. So like he's having to step up, and he has to be more intentional with everything he's doing, more so than ever before. And he's being challenged by guys like Quentin Newsome, who are asking him, who are reminding him, you're no longer a freshman, you got to do more. And so that's really, I think, the big thing is like seeing them step up into their leadership roles, step into this isn't new anymore for you now, it's new to everyone with this new coaching staff. But I say all of this hesitantly because some of you have made jokes in the comments about drinking the Kool-Aid, not about us, just in general.
Yeah, never about us.
But I think that the thing about spring is this is the time to be excited. This is the time to, get excited when you hear an interview or things that you want, to be happy about. Like, it's okay. So, like, I think, if, like, you go and you watch MJ Sherman's video and you're like, this is amazing. Like, it's cool to feel that way. Spring, again, is for implementing, getting everything in place. Fall is for perfecting. And then once we get into the season, then those details have to start getting nitpicked a little bit differently. So I think, just enjoy the process, if you will.
Yeah, it's one of the things Matt Rule said. They have to earn the right to enjoy the fall. They're doing the detail work right now, working on it, and then not even focusing on any games, just making sure the team is right and in a good spot, and then ultimately they'll kind of rev things up, or they've got they're laying the groundwork now to kind of build the house and get ready to where they're going to be ready for, August 31st? Yep. So it's not too far away.
Well, with that, as you've seen everyone walking behind us, like most of the football team has now walked behind us and the coaching staff. So that is our cue that we need to get on moving out. So if you want more, head to hailvarsity.com. Plenty to recap there, including information about Frank Solage, and that being announced yesterday from Trev Alberts that he will be honored at the spring game on April 22nd. Very exciting. So head to hailvarsity.com for more. You can obviously subscribe to this YouTube channel. In fact, we have a YouTube short up about the Frank Solage information as well. So subscribe everywhere. Follow us, like us, whatever, wherever your preferred social platform is. And we'll have plenty more to come. Matt Rule is going to meet with the media on Saturday. They will be scrimmaging on Saturday, so it'll be fun to hear a little bit more about that from Matt Rule. Brady will have you covered. We'll have a full video from him afterwards, so subscribe. Not like I'm saying from Matt Rule.
Oh, thank goodness.
We're not yet. We'll put Brady on the spot eventually. We said this, but it didn't make the video on Tuesday, but go outside. It's going to be nice if you're in Nebraska. We'll talk to you later.
Go Royals. Happy opening day.